Picture a world before the stars were kindled, where two friends stood at the edge of creation, their choices weaving a saga that would span millennia. Welcome to J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, where the royal blood of the Elves flows from two ancient kings, Finwë and Elwë. From Galadriel's radiant grace to Elrond's enduring wisdom, from Lúthien's timeless love to Aragorn's crowning triumph, nearly every legendary elf, and even some men, traces their lineage to these two primal figures. How did their friendship and their parting shape the fate of an entire world? Join me on an epic journey through Tolkien's mythology, where kinship, sacrifice, and destiny intertwine to create a story that resonates across the ages. Grab a seat, and let's unravel the royal tapestry of Middle-earth together. Let's journey to the very dawn of time, before the sun and moon cast their light, when the world was a canvas of stars. In J.R.R. Tolkien's The Silmarillion, this is the moment the Elves, the firstborn of Ilúvatar, awoke beside the serene waters of Cuiviénen, a lake nestled in the far east of Middle-earth. Their eyes opened to a world of wonder, their voices weaving the first songs under the starlit sky. Among these primal elves were two destined to become legends, Finwë and Elwë, leaders whose names would echo through the ages. Finwë was a figure of resolve, his spirit burning with curiosity and ambition. He was the heart of the Noldor, a clan renowned for their love of knowledge, craftsmanship, and the spark of creation. Elwë, in contrast, was a dreamer, his soul attuned to the rhythms of the natural world. He led the Teleri, a people who cherished the sea, the stars, and the melodies of the night. Together, Finwë and Elwë were not just leaders but friends, bound by a shared vision of guiding their people to a destiny beyond the eastern wilds. Their bond was a beacon, a promise of unity in an untamed world. Tolkien's mythology paints Cuiviénen as a place of innocence, but also of peril. The elves were not alone. Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, prowled the shadows, his malice a constant threat. The Valar, the divine powers who shaped the world under Ilúvatar's will, discovered the elves and saw their potential. To protect them, the Valar invited the elves to journey west to Valinor, a paradise where the two trees, Telperion and Laurelin, bathed the land in golden and silver light. This invitation sparked a divide among the elves. Some yearned for Valinor's radiance, others clung to the starlit beauty of Middle-earth. To bridge this divide, the Valar chose 3 ambassadors to visit Valinor and witness its glory: Ingwë, Finwë, and Elwë. Ingwë led the Vanyar, a clan devoted to the Valar's light. Finwë represented the Noldor, and Elwë spoke for the Teleri. The journey to Valinor was arduous, crossing vast plains and towering mountains, but the 3 leaders persevered, driven by duty and curiosity. When they arrived, the light of the 2 trees overwhelmed them. Telperion's silver glow and Laurelin's golden warmth were not just physical, they were spiritual, elevating those who beheld them into the Calaquendi, the Elves of the Light. For Finwë, Valinor was a revelation. The Noldor's love of creation found a home in its workshops and halls. Elwë, too, was moved, though his heart remained tied to Middle-earth's wild beauty. The ambassadors returned to Cuiviénen transformed, their words carrying the weight of divine promise. Finwë spoke of Valinor's wonders, urging the Noldor to seek its light. Elwë, with his poetic grace, inspired the Teleri, though many hesitated, their love for Middle-earth deep-rooted. Ingwë, fully committed, rallied the Vanyar. Thus began the Great Journey, a migration that would redefine the elves' destiny. The Great Journey was a monumental undertaking. Thousands of elves, divided into 3 hosts, Vanyar, Noldor, and Teleri, set out across Middle-earth, guided by their leaders. Finwë and Elwë walked side by side, their friendship a source of strength. The Noldor, eager and disciplined, followed Finwë, their eyes fixed on Valinor's promise. The Teleri, more contemplative, trailed behind, their pace slowed by their love for rivers and forests. The journey spanned years, perhaps centuries, as the elves navigated uncharted lands, from the misty vales of Anduin to the towering misty mountains. Along the way they faced trials. Morgoth's servants, creatures of shadow and fear, lurked in the wilds, sowing doubt. Harsh landscapes tested their resolve, and some elves, weary or enamored of Middle-earth, chose to stay behind. These became the Avari, the unwilling, who faded into legend. Yet Finwë and Elwë pressed on, their leadership unwavering. Their friendship was a microcosm of the elves' unity, a reminder that despite their differences, they shared a common purpose. As the elves neared the western shores of Middle-earth, where ships awaited to carry them to Valinor, fate intervened. Elwë, ever sensitive to beauty, wandered into the forest of Nan Elmoth. There, he heard a song that stopped time itself. It was Melian, a Maya, a divine being of the same order as Gandalf or Sauron. Her voice wove a spell of enchantment, and her presence was a vision of celestial grace. Elwë, captivated, fell into a trance-like love, standing with Melian for years, as if the world paused around them. This moment was a turning point. Finwë, unaware of his friend's fate, waited, but the Teleri grew restless. Some, loyal to Elwë, refused to continue without him, choosing to remain in Middle-earth. Others, led by Elwë's brother Olwë, pressed on to Valinor. Finwë, heartbroken but resolute, led the Noldor across the sea, trusting that Elwë would find his way. The parting of Finwë and Elwë was not just personal, it was cosmic, splitting the elves into two destinies. Finwë reached Valinor, where he was crowned High King of the Noldor, ruling in Tirion, a city of white towers beneath the two trees. His reign was a golden age, marked by art, wisdom, and prosperity. The Noldor thrived, their forges and libraries a testament to their ambition. Finwë's leadership laid the foundation for a dynasty that would shape Middle-earth's history. Elwë, meanwhile, emerged from Nan Elmoth as Thingol, the gray-mantled king. With Melian, he founded Doriath, a hidden realm in Middle-earth protected by Melian's girdle, a magical barrier that repelled enemies. Thingol became High King of the Sindar, elves who stayed behind, their culture rooted in Middle-earth's starlit beauty. His union with Melian, blending elf and Maya, was unique, infusing his line with divine power. Thus, two royal houses were born. Finwë's Noldor, enriched by Valinor's light, and Elwë's Sindar, anchored in Middle-earth's wilds. Their stories, though separate, would intertwine in ways that defined the fate of the world. Finwë's arrival in Valinor set the stage for a dynasty of brilliance and tragedy. Let's explore the House of Finwë and the legends it forged, from fiery creators to steadfast warriors. Finwë's reign in Valinor was a time of unparalleled splendor, but his personal life was marked by a singular distinction. Alone among elves, Finwë married twice, a choice that shaped the complexity of his dynasty. His first wife, Míriel Sérénde, was a weaver of exquisite tapestries, her spirit as delicate as her creations. She gave birth to Feanor, a child of such brilliance that his birth drained her vitality. In an act unprecedented among the immortal elves, Míriel chose to depart her body, her spirit dwelling in the halls of Mandos, the realm of the dead. This made Finwë the first elven widower, a tragedy that cast a long shadow over his house. After years of mourning, Finwë married Indis, a Vanyarin elf whose golden hair and gentle wisdom brought light to his grief. Indis, of the clan devoted to the valor, bore two sons, Fingolfin and Finarfin. These three sons, Feanor, Fingolfin, and Finarfin, formed the pillars of Finwë's dynasty, each leading a branch that would define the Noldor's legacy through triumph and tragedy. Feanor was a prodigy without peer. His name, meaning spirit of fire, captured his essence, a mind ablaze with creativity, a heart fierce with passion. He mastered language, crafting the Tengwar script still used in Middle-earth. His skill in smithing was unmatched, producing gems and artifacts of breathtaking beauty. His greatest creation was the Silmarils, 3 gems that captured the mingled light of the two trees. These jewels were more than artifacts. They were sacred, embodying Valinor's divine essence. Feanor's love for the Silmarils was absolute, bordering on obsession. When Morgoth, the dark Vala who coveted all beauty, stole the Silmarils and slew Finwë, Feanor's grief ignited into fury. In Tyrion's great square, he swore a terrible oath, binding himself and his 7 sons, Maedhros, Maglor, Celegorm, Caranthir, Curufin, Amrod, and Amras, to reclaim the Silmarils at any cost, invoking Ilúvatar's name. This oath was a curse, a chain that would bind Feanor's line to a path of destruction. Feanor's rebellion led the Noldor back to Middle-earth, but not without cost. At Alqualande, when the Teleri refused to lend their ships, Feanor and his followers committed the kinslaying, slaughtering their kin to seize the vessels. This act stained the Noldor's exodus, earning the Valar's wrath. In Middle-earth, Feanor's zeal led him to confront Morgoth's forces alone, and he fell, slain by Balrogs, his body consumed by his own inner fire. Feanor's sons carried the oath forward, their actions a complex tapestry of heroism and villainy. Maedhros, the eldest, showed nobility, forging alliances and enduring torment on Morgoth's peaks. Maglor, the bard, wove songs of sorrow, his heart torn by guilt. Celegorm and Curufin, however, descended into treachery, attacking their own kin in Doriath and Nargothrond. Caranthir's pride and the twins' loyalty added to the tragedy. By the First Age's end, the oath had claimed them all. 6 sons perished in battle or betrayal, and Maglor wandered the shores, singing laments, his fate unknown. Only one descendant survived into the Second Age, Celebrimbor, Curufin's son. Unlike his father, Celebrimbor rejected the oath's darkness, seeking to create rather than destroy. In Eregion, he founded a realm of craftsmen, his skill rivaling Feanor's. Celebrimbor forged the Rings of Power, hoping to preserve Middle-earth's beauty, but Sauron, disguised as Anatar, deceived him. The rings became tools of domination, and Celebrimbor's death at Sauron's hands ended Feanor's line. Yet his 3 rings, Nenya, Vilya, and Narya, endured, a legacy of hope amid tragedy. Fingolfin, born to Indus, was Feanor's opposite, steadfast, honorable, and selfless. His strength lay not in creation, but in leadership, his heart a shield for his people. When Feanor's threats against him led to banishment, Fingolfin remained loyal, guiding the Noldor through crisis. Finwë, torn between his sons, abdicated rather than choose, a decision that deepened the rift. When Feanor's rebellion forced the Noldor to Middle-earth, Fingolfin led a second host, enduring the grinding ice, a frozen wasteland, after Feanor abandoned them. His perseverance united the Noldor in Middle-earth, where he became High King. Fingolfin's reign was marked by defiance against Morgoth, culminating in a duel that became legend. Alone, he rode to Angband, challenging Morgoth to single combat. He wounded the Dark Lord 7 times, his sword Ringo flashing like starlight, before falling. This act of valor made Fingolfin a symbol of resistance, his name revered by elves and men. Fingolfin's children carried his legacy. Fingon, his eldest, was a hero of unity, rescuing Maedhros from Morgoth's chains and forging the union of Maedhros against the enemy. As High King after Fingolfin, Fingon led with courage but fell in the Nirnaeth Arnoediad, the battle of unnumbered tears. His son, Gil-galad, became the last High King of the Noldor, ruling Lindon in the Second Age. Gil-galad's reign was a beacon, culminating in the last alliance where he and Elendil defeated Sauron, though both perished. Gil-galad's legacy, seen in The Lord of the Rings, was one of enduring hope. Turgon, Fingolfin's second son, founded Gondolin, a hidden city of white stone and soaring towers. Gondolin stood as a bastion against Morgoth until betrayal led to its fall. Turgon's daughter, Idril Celebrindal, married Tuor, a mortal man, in a union that echoed Lúthien and Beren. Their son, Arendil, became the mariner who sailed to Valinor, bearing a Silmaril to plead for aid. Arendil's voyage sparked the War of Wrath, ending the First Age. His son, Elrond, emerged as a sage and warrior, founding Rivendell and guiding the Fellowship in the Third Age. Elrond's presence in The Lord of the Rings, wise, compassionate, and resolute, reflects Fingolfin's enduring spirit. Finarfin, the youngest son of Finwë and Indis, was the wisest, his heart attuned to peace. When Feanor's rebellion divided the Noldor, Finarfin chose to remain in Valinor, ruling the remnant of his people in Tirion. His golden hair, inherited from Indis, symbolized his Vanyarin grace, a contrast to the Noldor's fire. Though he stayed behind, his children, Finrod, Orodreth, Angrod, Egnor, and Galadriel, joined the exodus, driven by loyalty and ambition. Finrod Felagund, Finarfin's eldest, was a king of compassion. He founded Nargothrond, a subterranean realm of beauty, and befriended the first men, earning the title Friend of Men. Finrod's bond with Beren led to his greatest act, sacrificing his life to save Beren from a werewolf, fulfilling an oath of aid. This selfless act stood in stark contrast to Feanor's destructive oath, showing the Noldor's capacity for redemption. Galadriel, Finarfin's daughter, was the most enduring of her kin. Her golden-silver hair, blending Vanyarin gold from Indis and Telerin silver from her mother, Erwin, symbolized her unique place in both royal houses. In the First Age, Galadriel defended the Teleri during the Kinslaying, standing against Feanor's madness, a moment that defined her moral compass. She survived the First Age, co-ruled Lothlorien with Celeborn in the Second and Third Ages, and wielded Nenya, the Ring of Water. As the last of Finwë's grandchildren, Galadriel was a living link to the ancient world, her wisdom shaping Middle-earth's fate. Her role in The Lord of the Rings, guiding Frodo and resisting the One Ring, reflects her growth from a proud princess to a sage. Finarfin's other children, Orodreth, Angrod, and Egnor, played vital roles in the First Age, though their tales ended in tragedy. Orodreth ruled Nargothrond after Finrod, Angrod, and Egnor held the northern fronts, but all fell to Morgoth's forces. Their sacrifices paved the way for Galadriel's enduring legacy, a testament to Finarfin's quiet strength. Transition. Finwë's house burned brightly, forging Middle-earth's greatest triumphs and tragedies. Now let's journey to Doriath, where Elwë's legacy wove a different kind of magic, one of mystery and divine love. We're deep in the heart of Tolkien's lore, and I hope you're as captivated as I am. If you're enjoying this journey through Middle-earth, hit that like button, share this video with a fellow fan, and subscribe for more epic tales. Want to dive deeper into a specific elf, like Galadriel or Elrond? Drop a comment below, and I'll cover them in a future video. Now let's follow Elwë into the enchanted woods of Nan Elmoth. When Elwë emerged from Nan Elmoth, he was no longer the elf who had led the Teleri. His love for Melian, a Maya of celestial power, transformed him into Thingol, the gray-mantled king. Melian was no mere elf. She was a divine being, akin to Gandalf or Sauron, her presence a blend of wisdom and enchantment. Together, they founded Doriath, a hidden realm in Beleriand Middle-earth's western lands. Doriath was protected by Melian's girdle, a magical barrier that repelled enemies, making it a sanctuary of beauty and peace. Thingol became High King of the Sindar, elves who chose to remain in Middle-earth rather than sail to Valinor. Unlike the Calaquendi of Valinor, the Sindar were Morroquendi, elves of the darkness, never having seen the two trees. Yet Melian's divine influence elevated them, their culture a tapestry of starlit songs and woodland lore. Thingol's union with Melian was unique, blending elven mortality with Maya immortality, infusing their line with a spark of the divine. Their only child, Lúthien Tinuviel, was the most beautiful being in Middle-earth. Her birth was a miracle, her presence a blend of elven grace and otherworldly power. Lúthien's story would become the heart of the Silmarillion, a beacon of hope that illuminated Elwë's legacy. Lúthien's tale is Tolkien's greatest love story, a saga of defiance and devotion. In Doriath's glades, she met Beren, a mortal man fleeing Morgoth's wrath. Their love was instant, a bond that transcended the divide between elf and man. Thingol, protective of his daughter, set an impossible task: retrieve a Silmaril from Morgoth's iron crown. This was no mere test. It was a demand born of pride, reflecting Thingol's growing attachment to power. Against all odds, Lúthien and Beren embarked on their quest. Lúthien's power, rooted in her Maya heritage, was extraordinary. She wove disguises, sang enchantments, and even lulled Morgoth to sleep with her voice, a feat no other could claim. With Beren, she infiltrated Angband, stole a Silmaril, and escaped, their love a light against the darkness. But their triumph came at a cost. Beren was mortally wounded, and Lúthien, unable to endure separation, followed him to the halls of Mandos. In Mandos, Lúthien's Song of Sorrow moved the Vala of Fate, a rare grace. Mandos allowed them to return as mortals, a choice that severed Lúthien from immortality. They lived out their days in Osiriand, their love a legend that inspired generations. Their son, Dior, inherited the Silmaril and ruled Doriath after Thingol's death, slain by dwarves over the same jewel. Dior's daughter, Elwing, carried the Silmaril forward, her fate intertwining with Finwë's line. Elwing married Arendil, Finwë's great-grandson, through Idril and Tuor. Their union was a pivotal moment, uniting the houses of Finwë and Elwë. Arendil sailed to Valinor bearing the Silmaril and pleaded for aid against Morgoth. His voyage sparked the War of Wrath, a cataclysmic battle that ended the First Age, sinking Beleriand beneath the sea. Elwing and Arendil's twin sons, Elrond and Elros, faced a fateful choice: to live as elves or men. Elrond chose immortality, becoming a sage and warrior. Elros chose mortality, founding Numenor, and fathering the line of kings that rooming Numenor and fathering the line of kings that led to Aragorn. Elwë's brothers extended his influence beyond Doriath. Olwë, his elder brother, led some Teleri to Valinor, ruling Alqualanda, the Swan Haven, a coastal city of pearl and coral. Olwë's daughter Erwin married Finarfin, linking the Noldor and Teleri. Erwin's silver hair, a Telerin trait, passed to Galadriel, whose gold-and-silver locks symbolized her dual heritage. During the Kinslaying, when Feanor's forces attacked Alqualande, Galadriel defended her Telerin kin, a defining moment of her loyalty to her mother's people. Elmo, Elwë's younger brother, remained in Middle-earth, fathering Galadhon, whose sons were Celeborn and Galathil. Celeborn, a Sindarin prince, was royal by birth, his status tied to Elmo's kinship with Thingol. He married Galadriel, and their daughter Celebrian wed Elrond, further entwining the two houses. Galadriel's daughter Nimloth married Dior, making their daughter, Elwing, a cousin to Celebrian. This intricate web of kinship tied Doriath's fall to the broader saga of the Silmarils. Other Sindarin lords carried Elwë's legacy into later ages. Thranduil, king of Mirkwood and father of Legolas, likely descended from Orifer, a Doriath prince. Tolkien's hints suggest a cultural, if not biological, tie to Thingol, their woodland realm echoing Doriath's splendor. Amdir, the first king of Lothlorien, shared this Sindarin heritage, his rule a precursor to Galadriel and Celeborn's. These kings, seen in The Lord of the Rings, preserved the Sindarin spirit of harmony with nature. The Sindar, unlike the Noldor's fiery ambition, were rooted in Middle-earth's wild beauty. Their culture, shaped by Melion's wisdom and Thingol's majesty, was one of starlit songs, intricate crafts, and deep connection to the land. Doriath's fall, triggered by Thingol's greed for a Silmaril, was a tragedy, but its legacy lived on in Lothlorien and Mirkwood. Galadriel, with Nenya's power, and Thranduil, with his woodland court, embodied the Sindarin ideal of preserving beauty against time's passage. Finwë's Noldor and Elwë's Sindar shaped Middle-earth's history, but their true power lies in their union. Let's explore how these houses converge to forge a new era. The climax of Tolkien's mythology is the union of Finwë and Elwë's houses, a moment that redefined Middle-earth. At the end of the First Age, Elwing, Elwë's great-granddaughter through Lúthien and Dior, gave her Silmaril to Arendil, Finwë's great-grandson through Idril and Tuor. This act was more than symbolic, it was cosmic. Arendil sailed to Valinor, the Silmaril's light a beacon of hope, and pleaded for the Valar's aid against Morgoth. His voyage, guided by Elwing's courage, moved the Valar to act. The War of Wrath followed, a cataclysmic battle that pitted the Valar's hosts against Morgoth's armies. Dragons, Balrogs, and legions clashed, reshaping Middle-earth's geography. Beleriand sank beneath the sea, a testament to the war's ferocity. Morgoth was defeated, bound in chains, and the remaining Silmarils were lost, one to the earth, one to the sea, one to the heavens, carried by Arendil as a star. This victory ended the First Age, a triumph born of Finwë and Elwë's united lines. Arendil and Elwing's twin sons, Elrond and Elros, embodied this union. Elrond, choosing elven immortality, became a linchpin of the Second and Third Ages. He founded Rivendell, a haven of lore and healing, and wielded Vilya, the Ring of Air. His counsel guided the Fellowship, his wisdom a bridge between ages. Elrond's marriage to Celebrian, daughter of Galadriel and Celeborn, wove together the Noldor, Sindar, and Vanir, their union a microcosm of unity. Their daughter, Arwen, was a living bridge between elves and men, her beauty and grace echoing Lúthien's. Elros, choosing mortality, founded Númenor, a kingdom of men blessed by the Valar. His descendants, including Elendil and Isildur, carried the royal blood of Elwë through Lúthien. Númenor's fall, corrupted by Sauron's lies, was a tragedy, but its survivors, led by Elendil, founded Gondor and Arnor. By the Third Age, Aragorn, heir of Elros, emerged as the hope of men. His upbringing in Rivendell under Elrond's care tied him to both houses, his destiny intertwined with Arwen's. Aragorn and Arwen's marriage in the Fourth Age was the culmination of Finwë and Elwë's legacy. Their union united the lines of Elrond and Elros, elf and man, fulfilling a prophecy of renewal. Aragorn, crowned Elisar, restored Gondor's glory, his rule a golden age. Arwen, forsaking immortality like Lúthien, bound her fate to his, their love a mirror of ancient legends. Their son, Eldarion, inherited the high kingship, blending the divine heritage of elves with the resilience of men. This union was more than political, it was a symbol of hope. Finwë and Elwë, parted by fate, saw their descendants heal a fractured world. Eldarion's reign marked a new dawn, where the age of men rose from the age of elves, a testament to the enduring power of kinship. Tolkien's royal elves are archetypes of human experience. Feanor's pride warns of obsession's cost, his Silmarils a metaphor for beauty that consumes. Fingolfin's courage inspires defiance against despair, his duel with Morgoth a stand against evil. Galadriel's wisdom shows growth through time, her rejection of the One Ring a triumph of humility. Lúthien's love proves that even death can be overcome, her song a light in darkness. Elrond and Aragorn, heirs of both houses, embody reconciliation, uniting disparate threads into a narrative of redemption. Their story is Tolkien's vision of hope, where love and sacrifice triumph over division. Before we conclude, let's reflect on why this saga matters and answer questions you might have about Tolkien's intricate world. Why this story matters. The saga of Finwë and Elwë is the backbone of Tolkien's legendarium, a framework that binds the Silmarillion to the Lord of the Rings. It's a story of beginnings and endings, of friends parted and families reunited. For new fans, it reveals the depth behind characters like Galadriel, whose wisdom carries millennia of loss, or Elrond, whose compassion reflects his ancestors' sacrifices. For veteran readers, it's a testament to Tolkien's genius in crafting a world where every name has purpose, every choice a ripple across time. The royal elves teach us about legacy. Finwë's ambition to reach Valinor and Elwë's love for Melian set in motion a chain of events that shaped Middle-earth's soul. Their descendants, through war, love, and redemption, show that no choice is without consequence, yet hope endures. Feanor's fall warns of pride, but Galadriel's rise shows redemption is possible. Lúthien's love defies fate, while Aragorn's kingship restores it. This is a story of human experience dressed in elven grace, a mirror to our own struggles and dreams. Tolkien's world is vast, but the royal elves ground it. Their genealogies, complex as they are, reveal a truth. We are all connected, our stories interwoven. Whether you know The Lord of the Rings from the films or have read the Silmarillion cover to cover, this tale enriches your understanding, showing how two friends at the world's dawn forged a legacy that still captivates us. Why does Gil-galad's parentage vary? In the Silmarillion, Gil-galad is Fingon's son, a lineage that fits the narrative of Fingolfin's royal line. Tolkien's later notes, however, suggest he's Orodreth's son, tying him to Finarfin's line. This reflects Tolkien's evolving vision, but the published Silmarillion remains the standard, so I used Fingon's lineage for clarity. Both versions enrich Gil-galad's role as a unifying king. Are Thranduil and Legolas directly related to Elwë? Tolkien never confirms a biological tie, but Oropher, Thranduil's father, was a prince of Doriath, suggesting a cultural connection to Thingol's court. Their woodland realm in Mirkwood echoes Doriath's aesthetic, implying a shared heritage, if not a direct bloodline. Legolas's grace in The Lord of the Rings reflects this Sindarin spirit. How does Galadriel connect to both houses? Through her father, Finarfin, Galadriel is Noldorine, heir to Finwë's ambition. Through her mother, Arwen, daughter of Olwë, she's Telerin, tied to Elwë's kin. Her golden-silver hair, blending Vanyarin and Telerin traits, symbolizes this dual heritage, making her a bridge between houses. What's a Maia? A Maia is a lesser divine being, serving the Valar, like Gandalf, Olorin, Sauron, or Melian. They possess immense power, often shaping mortal fates. Melian's Maia nature makes Lúthien's line unique, her divine spark a source of Lúthien's enchantments and Elrond's wisdom. Why is Elrond so central? As a descendant of Finwë, via Idril and Turgon, and Elwë, via Lúthien and Elwing, Elrond unites the royal lines. His choice of immortality, unlike Elros's mortality, positioned him as a guardian of Middle-earth's history. In The Lord of the Rings, his Rivendell is a haven, his counsel shaping the ring's destruction. How do the Silmarils drive the story? The Silmarils, crafted by Feanor, are the heart of the Silmarillion. Their theft by Morgoth sparks Feanor's oath, driving the Noldor's exile and wars. Lúthien and Beron's theft of one Silmaril, passed to Elwing and Arendil, triggers the War of Wrath. Their light, preserved in Arendil's star, symbolizes hope, linking Finwë and Elwë's lines. What role do men play in the Elven saga? Men like Beren, Tuor, and Aragorn are catalysts. Their unions with elves, Lúthien, Idril, Arwen, bridge the mortal and immortal, producing heirs like Elrond and Eldarion. These unions fulfill Ilúvatar's plan, where men inherit Middle-earth as elves fade, a theme of renewal central to Tolkien's vision. With these questions answered, let's close with a reflection on the enduring power of Finwë and Elwë's legacy. From the starlit waters of Cuivianen to the golden halls of Minas Tirith, the royal elves of Middle-earth weave a saga of kinship and destiny. Finwë and Elwë, two friends at the world's dawn, parted ways, yet their descendants, Galadriel, Elrond, Lúthien, and Aragorn, forged a legacy of sacrifice, love, and redemption. Through millennia of war and hope, they proved that even the deepest divides can be bridged, their story a testament to the enduring power of unity. Thank you for joining me on this epic journey. If this tale ignited your imagination, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more Middle-earth lore. Tell me in the comments, who's your favorite elf, and what story do you want next? Until we meet again, may the light of the two trees guide your path, and stay ever curious.